Pike's pushed more and forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot have fun. Yeah, and
It's all about the entertainment, so I hope
everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. The Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Coming down, does he have it? He's going to get it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry!
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Beer League. 6th round here tonight at the Rudskogen Motorsenter of this championship that provides all of the chaos that you can expect on a Wednesday night here this afternoon. My name is Ewan O'Leary alongside Biggles here once again. We're back together again actually after round 5 where I was away 1 week ago, but glad to be back again for the next round of this series. Before we go any further and before we run out of time, as we quite often do, we'll have a look at the championship standings, starting with Chris Hannigan, who is leading the session right now. He's ahead of Eric Ronenberg in second by 9 points. Then Austin Tucker 20 points back and Jay De Vries 22 points back. Giovanni Romano is 27 back, and then the gaps get a little bit bigger. Tyler Agostino 6th ahead of Brian LeBlanc, then Alec Cofford, Corey Barrett and Kenneth Ray inside the top 10. Then Tyler Carlton on 79, just ahead of Adam Klein and Todd Badal, who are tied on points. Then it's Ron Wolf and Jason Lee inside the top 15. Evan Campbell and Brooks Clayton, 16th and 17th. There's Jeremy Castro, who is on 59 points. Rounding up the top 20, it's Grant Jordan and Chris Dowden. Carl Smith is just a point ahead of Steve Bauer and Joshua Kuhn, who are tied. Then it's Mathieu Deputh and Justin Dosveis. Then Blanc Ruzaki, James Hardwick and John Coombs 28th, and there's even more to come as well. Greg Beckman in 29th with Joshua Keith. Then there's Dylan Fisher and Jason Murray, just ahead of the likes of Christopher Flick, Cody Carter and Sean Flynn, Joseph Noah, Alex Duarte and Josh Freed at 38. Christ, there's more. Goodness me. Jonathan Lane and Chase Ellis inside the top 40. There's Morgan Otto, who we've seen having a terrible time on occasion. Robert Baylock is in 42nd, and Evanteli Saletta. Then Dylan Verlinger, Nathan Cookingham, Mark Ballou, Mike Young, Daniel Nace. See if there's any more. At the end of that. Oh my goodness me, there is. 49, David Jessic ahead of Zach Garrow, who will be inside the top 50. That'll do. Because there's a lot of them. I didn't quite realise that, Biggles, actually. We've started to get to know these guys quite well now, and I've started to see some really recognisable names week on week, but clearly they're not as regular as I thought, because we've got more than approaching 60 drivers on that list there.
Yes, we do. Welcome, everybody. Of course, say hi in the chat. I'm the first again in the chat. Welcome along course to round 6. You got through that quite well. We'll still go through the championship standings for the teams. We'll pull that up in a second, because it's just about to start the qualifying session right now, the old lonely qualifying. And you can also just let everybody know, of course, this week's format that we're going to be doing as well too there, please, Ewan.
Yeah, as you say, solo qualifying that's started right about now. Then there's 2 free-lap heats. Chris Hannigan saying all 3 minutes, depending on what iRacing decides to do, which suggests to me they've been having problems with that in recent past, although I don't remember it. To be fair, I think with the length of this circuit, I think 3 minutes would translate to a 3-lap race anyway, but hopefully we don't have to figure that out. And then there's a 50-minute race, as usual, with the 1.75 times opportunity for a safety car during this race as well. So that's the probability of that, and that's the format that we've got. It's traditional beer league style. I've got to say that I'm not a particular fan of the Rudskogen circuit, but hopefully these cars produce good racing for us. High Spirits are the team's championship leaders, by the way, ahead of the Diabetics by around 42 points. Then Pit Crew Pirates third, Sports and Family Planning the top 5. Local Yokels, Snack Attack and Children of the Corn Liquor are in the top 8. Those are your team standings at the moment. It's certainly a little bit closer in the drivers, but as I say, solo qualifying for 5 minutes, and we'll see how these TCR cars tackle this Rudskogen circuit, because I've got to say, in most cars it's very difficult to overtake, and a frustrating race for some as well.
It is. We're going to be riding on board with some of the drivers going around the track at the moment. We know Aaron Rodenberg is quite a quick driver. You can probably explain that one, Ewan, how you do tackle this fantastic circuit here in Norway. It's not snowing.
It isn't snowing, thankfully. I've got to say, I've never actually driven this circuit, but from the looks of things, it's a fairly difficult one, fairly unusual as well, because a lot of the tracks added to iRacing, people have been asking for years and years and whatever, but this is not one of them. It's just kind of appeared in the last couple of seasons, and it's on the service. Turn 3 is probably the most difficult corner, I would say, where you're chucking it into this high-speed corner, but you're kind of turning and braking at the same time as 3 turns into 4. Then you'll have to get it to right-hand side in time for 5, and you really get into this S's section, where you do have a bit of AstroTurf either side of the curb here, just to use a little bit and try to get the car turned. Then it's a pretty difficult run through turn 8, very long corner, looking for a late apex, and a run down the hill through turn 9, which is really not a corner, and then turn 10, which really is big braking zone, big hairpin, and you can run up the hill under this bridge and through another meaningless corner, which is turn 11, then turn 12, which is meaningful. Use the space on the right hand side, then the left, then the right again. There's plenty of tarmac and AstroTurf for you to use, and then the final couple of corners as well, which is almost a mirror image of turns 1 and 2. 13, 14, you try and search for that late apex, and that run onto the front straight that gets you out onto another lap. It's quite a technical circuit, I've got to say, and that's what makes overtaking quite so difficult, as you might be able to already figure out really by watching one of these laps.
Excellent, thank you for that. 49 thousandths of a second. Mr. Osentaka goes up there on Josh Freed. That slots in there 50 thousandths of a second, as I said before there, and then you go about 2 tenths down, but we still have a lot of drivers putting their times in currently at the moment. With just a little bit of qualifying, then we get into our heats again for our heat races. Then we'll determine for our feature race. Of course, in the beer league, we're Drinking and driving is encouraged, of course, off the main roads, not in real world.
Yeah.
And
Not
that
in
could
real
be
world.
any beverages that anybody wants to drink. It doesn't have to be alcoholic, of course. Be beer. Doesn't have to be beer as well, too, I believe. So, kind of be anything you really want. Could be aqua, water.
Yeah. I don't know how
That
many
we'll
points
be
you get
drinking
for that, to be
up
fair.
here, but yeah, the drivers have to. Well, some of them pull off the side of the roads. It's a fun league. The average I rating around here is about 2K. People don't they do race, it's competitive, of course, but there's also a bunch of giggles and fun that goes on. Austin Tucker's looking pretty quick there. We'll go and see if Austin Tucker will actually improve on that. Purple sector, as you can see, for the Bailey's machine. Then, believe it or not, once again, we said this before, didn't we, in the past there, Ewan? But they're basically, most of the drivers are actually in a chat together.
Yeah. Yeah, I think pretty much all of them are actually in chat together. It's a very sociable, well, to be fair, I think a couple of people have got everyone deafened, which is fair enough. You can imagine it's quite chaos in there, really, as Josh Freed just gets to the top of the times right at the very end there. Steals pole, actually. Does Josh Freed. So good lap from him right at the end there, and he'll be on the front with Chris Hannigan, Brooks Clayton and Todd Madole, who will be all up there. Just seeing that everybody's getting... this is the first heat, isn't it? Getting underway. Mike Young and Joshua Keefe will be on row 3 with Brian LeBlanc and Corey Barrett. 2 Audis on the next row. Jason Lee and Christopher Flick inside the top 10 with Zach Garrow and Adam Melot in the top 12. Then it's Kenneth Ray and Giovanni Romano, who will be finishing down towards the back so that he can come up through the order, as we always expect him to do. Jay DeVries and Jason Murray, and then Sean Bradley and Josh Kuhn right at the very, very end. So we're 18 drivers in this first heat and a 3-lap race to set themselves up for the actual feature race, which is 50 minutes long. So this has become a bit of a tradition in recent times to kind of set the grid in a more unusual way, but some drivers intentionally lose so that they can have a bit of fun coming through the order.
Yes, they can, absolutely. And here is the man, Joshua, if he loads in a second. Should be, it's not going to show that actually at the moment too, because they're not on the exact same start line finish position that it gives us, because they're going to be a rolling start, no doubt. So they're going to be starting a little bit further back on the track. I'll show you on the track map currently at the moment. If it does pop up in a second, it's not actually for us, so we'll leave that for now. But they'll be behind the safety car, as you're going to have Freed and Chris Hannigan. Looking for a nice challenge, I'd say, between those two drivers into turn 1. If they make mistakes, you've got Brooks and Clayton and Todd Madoyle ready to pounce. So it'll be interesting to see. Just one more driver, I believe, to load in, which is Joshua in P18 for this one. So here we go. Rolling start there. As you can tell at the moment, Josh is really eager to get on with it. That pace car can get out of his way, he says. Well, there we go. I like the chrome livery on the pit crew Pirates team as well, too. That shine in your eyes, won't it, if you get a bit of blinding, especially a lot of chrome on the back.
It's quite a sunny day as well. You can imagine the chrome will be reflecting for all to see, almost as a second sun on the ground. But it is a nice livery, and it's alongside the very recognisable McDonald's livery of Chris Hannigan. They'll be getting things underway from the front here at Rudskogen. It's the first heat of the evening. 3 laps as always, and Josh Freed doesn't want to wait around for too long at all. It's going to be 3 minutes, in fact, as it turns out, by the looks of it, based on that timer there. So iRacing has decided to do its own thing. It's Chris Hannigan down the inside of Brooke Clayton, who stays ahead in second place. Freed holds on to his lead in what might only be a 2-lap race in the end here.
I think you might be right on that one exactly. Look at that gap he's got already. Almost a second gained. And there's the challenge, really more, you'd have to say, a little bit further back there between Brooks and Todd. So we get the right TV crews. Here it is, it's game on right now. Chris Hannigan losing that place at the moment, so Brooks Clayton up in the Bumblebee car.
Nice racing between them, I've got to say. Nice racing, Clayton up the place. Oh dear, and it's a bit of a mess in the background with Corey Barrett, who's gone around. Christopher Flick is the other driver, and Kenneth Ray as well, actually, who've lost places substantially on this opening lap. There they are. It was Barrett who got turned around in the S's though, but with front wheel drive you can save slides quite easily. Down the inside for Jay DeVries very nearly into turn 10 at the bottom of the course. Chris Hannigan's lost a place inside the top 3. is the only driver inside the top 7 to have lost any places, actually. Giovanni Romano making up places already in this race. There he is, up into 9th place in this first heat.
Yeah, I believe Chris actually went off track here. So a little quick peek at the replay, and that's just the off-track excursion there. But how much was it? Yeah, that was definitely enough onto the grass there, and that allows that position to go through. Ken Ray a little bit further back. He's lost 3 positions, and that's why that happened there for Ken. A little bit of a spinneroo. Does slightly tap the fence. Don't worry about damage, of course. In our beer league, the cars get repaired instantly, but that's it right now, currently for them. But further back of the action, Mike is putting a bit of pressure on Chris now. Chris Hannigan. No, my apologies. It's Todd and Mike Young here, side by side. Here's Todd we're looking at right now there.
He's trying to go through on Mike Young, but he's going to do well to manage that at turn 4 from the position that he found himself in there. First of all, very much the top 6 getting away from the rest. Brian LeBlanc gets ahead of Jason Lee, who's in about with everybody. Giovanni Romano here in the final 30 seconds of the race. He's going to soon start to think about dropping back here and finishing last, which is what he usually does. But maybe he'll do something different and start right in the midfield this time. But I think we'd be shocked if that happened, quite frankly. Jay De Vries and Adam Malott battle away down towards turn 10 as well. Driving the outside for De Vries in the Honda. Oh, and that was close. Malott gives just enough room there for them not to make contact, and Christopher Flick comes sailing into the corner. That was too late on the brakes.
Oh, no, that was Christopher Flick, yeah.
He's lost a place to Kenneth Ray as a result, but around the final corner, it is going to be the white flag, actually.
Yeah.
So our timing screen's been lying to us. It's not a 3-minute race, it is a 3-lap race as previously planned, and Josh Freed is going to have almost a lap of honour here in the first heat.
Yeah, it's just going to be no problem with that. Nice 2-second gap there. It'll be look out for Mr. Josh Freed then when it comes to the main feature race later on. But for now, that's pretty much the switcheroo for most of the drivers. I'd have to say pretty clean in their first heat race, for sure. Not much, just a couple off-track excursions, but none of these big pile-ups and stuff like that we've seen. It's because they've got all the Dutch courage, not that much Dutch courage built in at the moment, but I apologise why that track map is not working for us currently at the moment too. It's busted. It's broken, but this man's not busted or broken. Josh Freed for the pit pirates, the pit crew. There they are, the pit crew pirates. He says he'll be going R's as he gets his way across there for sure. Hey mateys, he's going to steal the first race in style with quite a bit too. As you can see, that margin, 2.5 seconds. That's a lot to make up, isn't it? Considering you've only just had 3 laps of a race.
Yeah, it shows you what the battling does for you, actually. Clayton, Hannigan, Young and Madol have been just letting this gap go out a little bit, really. It's only the first heat, of course, but Josh Freed is going to confirm himself to be starting from the very front. The checker flag will wave and he will take the first heat of the evening ahead of Clayton, Young and Madol, and Chris Hannigan will pull off the road, and maybe he's decided to stop from the back as well, has he? Or has he made a mistake?
Oh, yeah, I don't know, actually. He's got a lot of contact.
He's going to be outside.
He has made a mistake,
10.
actually. He did, I believe, in the final corner.
Giovanni Romano does indeed drop back. He's not quite last, but he's going to be outside the top 30 in the start of this race.
Here's Chris. Unfortunately, can't show you.
Oh, well.
So we'll have to go over the results there for Heat 1 real quick now.
Well, Heat 1 has come to a close then. Josh Freed ahead of Brooks Clayton. Then Mike Young, Tom Badol, Joshua Keefe inside the top 5 in the end, ahead of Brian LeBlanc and Jason Lee. Then Zach Garrow, Jay De Vries and Corey Barrett inside the top 10. Chris Hannigan's given himself some work to do with that late mistake. Adam Malott 12. Christopher Flick. Then it's Ken Ray and Sean Bradley inside the top 15. Have Jason Murray and Giovanni Romano 16th and 17th. There were a few more below that.
I think there was only one, wasn't there? Let's have a look real quick.
There's only one more finisher.
Yeah. No, that's it, actually. It's only showing to 17.
There was definitely someone finishing behind Giovanni Romano, because I remember it.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Anyway, apparently not, according to the graphics there. It's going to be Tyler Agostino and Austin Tucker who start on the front row here in this one together, ahead of Chris Dowden and Eric Ronenberg then for the second heat. It will be 3 laps again here. Set the other half of the grid, the outside line of the grid, if you like. Moving forward to this race, that's a bit close between everybody. And now Charlo Agostino gets us underway in towards turn number 1 on the on the main straight. It's a very similar start to what Josh Freed got actually, where he was comfortably ahead of the rest. Down in towards turn 1 they go. And Agostino takes the lead comfortably ahead of Tucker, Dowden, Ronenberg. The top 4 staying exactly as they were in qualifying.
Absolutely great battles that are occurring currently at the moment, a little bit further down the pack, so you can see your position gainers and losers as they're going to be sprinting their way around this great track. You can see it basically carving your way into the mountain-esque, picturesque locations here in Norway. Of course, it's full of mountains everywhere here. If you've ever visited Norway before, beautiful country. A little chilly sometimes, but it's absolutely beautiful. One of the best places to live as well, too, mate. It gets voted each year, I think. I
wouldn't be surprised. Certainly not. Yeah, it's not too far north Norway around here at Rudskogen, so they shouldn't be too cold, especially at this time of year. Let's have a look at a replay of the goings on in towards turns 3 and 4. This was a bit of a mess up ahead, but Tanner Klein, unfortunately, making a bit of contact a bit further back and going around for a bit of a spin. And this is the aftermath of all of the contact a little bit further ahead of these guys.
There it is. Just, it's not too bad. I have to say a little bit of argy-bargy, but it's called the motor race. And we have a little bit of an issue, too, with a replay being stuck on the James Barfoot Broadcasting Network. But it's all good. It's fixed itself back up. Live pictures again. Should be live. Timing table fixes itself out. It's definitely broken at the moment, my friend.
Yeah,
We've broken it.
Broken, which is not great news. Someone spilt some beer down the cables or something.
Yeah,
because,
perhaps.
We've got big problems at the moment. This is the guys making their way over the line, but they're about nearly half the way through the lap in live pictures.
They are. It's stuck on here at the moment. It's not moving its way around past it. So that's just all broken it up.
That's not great news. Moving forward.
We need the boss to help us out in that one, but we can't. Well, thankfully, at least, it's only the race heat that's breaking on us at the moment, so I do apologise. I have absolutely no idea what it's doing.
And I can't tell you that Austin Tucker has actually lost a couple of places while we've been away there. Dowden and Ronenberg have both gotten through. I can still tell you what's going on at least. There. Fairly close, but very similar story to Heat 1, actually, where the pole sitter and leader gets away from the rest without any particular difficulty at all and stays away from the rest as well. Tyler Agostino out front. And now my timer screen is only showing him, so... oh no, here we go. It's still Dowden, then Ronenberg, then Tucker. Adam Klein there as well. Excuse me, he was in the last heat, wasn't he? Alex Cofford is the next one, and he's a little bit further back. But, fairly major problems at the moment. Oh, there they come through the final couple of corners, but they are indeed... these aren't, once again,
that's showing the white flag, which they're actually on the last lap now. Yes, once again, it's not showing those live pictures. It cannot get this thing to fix it at the moment for some reason every time we see that. We just have to see how this one pans out, unfortunately, and get those results up for everybody, and hopefully it'll be all resolved for the main feature race coming up.
Yeah, hopefully so. The pictures are about 40 seconds behind what's real life at the moment, so Tyler Agostino is just making his way into the second half of the lap now and still has a pretty comfortable lead, and will be starting, you'd imagine, alongside Josh Freed on the front row. You can see the safety car at least. That'll be used at least once today.
Yes, you're exactly right about that. During the feature race, 1.7% chance, I think it is, of 2 perhaps safety cars.
Yeah, 1.57 times a race. We can't have obviously 3/4 of a safety car. That means 3 out of 4 times it will appear. It's round 6, so we should have had at the very most 5 safety cars at this point, should we? 5. Yeah, roughly there.
This is the checkered flag from Chris, so that's apparently the replays are working, but it will show you Chris crossing the replays are working, but not the live pictures. So that's Chris crossing the line there to take this first results there for the second heat race, actually. But and even that, I can't even see those results there from the heat race to show everybody. It's all just completely going bonkers on us.
Tyler Agostino as well lost the lead there. and dropped down to 4th place as far as I could see. So not sure what happened to him there at all, but yeah, he's not going to be pleased about that at all. By no means, and everybody there just goes for. Oh my goodness me, that was a crash. I don't know if you saw that at turn
No,
one.
I didn't actually. Sorry.
Everyone just piles in for a bit of fun after heat 2.
Oh, we got the
Hopefully
results
now-
come up now for that, at least for the heat. So once again, that was just I have no idea what was all pole shaped on that one, but these are the results for you anyway for that heat 2. You can go over that, please.
Yeah, Chris Dowden in the end getting it ahead of Austin Tucker and Adam Klein, and Tyler Agostino finding himself in 4th place despite leading for most of that. Eric Ronenberg was with him, and Ron Wolf 6th out of Steve Power, Justin Dustface, and Greg Beckman, and indeed Graham Jordan inside the top 10. Jeremy Castro just outside that with Tyler Carlton, then Tanner Catlin. Dear me, where am I reading that? Carlson, Catlin, and then Tanner Klein. Cody Carter inside the top 15 ahead of Robert Baylock and Alex Cofford, who likes to start from the back anyway. He'll be about 34th off of the start.
Yeah, we'll have to quickly hide that for a second and actually show you the grid for this race that's currently at the moment. You can see those down to the left-hand side of your screen, but there it is right now. That's the overall grid for our main feature race. We are getting ready.
Yeah, the results we just saw on all down the left-hand side, of course, and the Heat 1 drivers on the right-hand side, as we always see, as they just get underway for their formation lap now.
And everything looks good, so cross our fingers that the old replay system doesn't break something at this point. So I think we'll stay away a little bit from the replays at the very, very start, mate. We'll see if we can pull that back up later. We don't want to miss any of the action.
Could be a bit of a problem if it carries on like we were saying. But anyway, 50 minutes of racing here in the Beer League tonight, as we always see. TCR racing at Rudskogen here on a Wednesday night, and Josh Freed deciding to keep the field, waiting a little bit longer on this occasion. Now he'll finally go, and we'll finally get things underway in towards turn 1. Dowden will have to tuck in behind him. Tucker, oh dear! Tucker and Clayton together. And there's a big crash. Dowden involved as well, and it's a real mess off at the start, and it continues around turn 1. Brooke Clayton gets on the grass. Adam Klein involved as well. Oh, and he's spun around now. It's a demolition derby out there. Goodness me, look at this.
Yeah, we haven't seen that a lot, actually. You can see the cars that are involved. Adam's just going to sit there and wait. Oh, no. Be careful. We all know what happens if you back it up a little bit, but do that, mate. That's just like that, isn't it? It all goes pole-shaped for some of the drivers. I guess, touch wood, we've had so many great racing starts for the feature race, haven't we? And then all of a sudden now it's all gone, yep, swirly-whirly, but that's what you get at the Beer League. That's the good thing about it too, my friend, is you got 50 minutes to go, so I wouldn't say nothing's over yet.
At least one safety car as well to help things out. Look at the amount of positional changes on the left-hand side, by the way. I've never seen anything quite like that after 1 minute of a race. But anyway, everybody's been off at some point. And somewhat remarkably, Mike Young's leading the race from 5th off of the start. I mean, what a mess it was in towards turn 1. It was the top 2 coming together. It just shows that when the top drivers at the front set a precedent like that for you, you can really see lots and lots of incidents, because that was the messiest start we've seen in the Beer League all season long by quite some distance.
You've got to be in it to win it now. And hope everybody's enjoying themselves out there in the chat as well too. Quite quiet for now, but don't worry. You've got time, as we're looking at a nice battle there between Chris and Jordan. Chris Hannigan, and can't miss him in that McDonald's livery car, and the Durex livery car there of John Jordan in 9th position at the moment. So they've gained 13 and 11 positions. So I'd say pretty good for them, having to avoid all that incidents. And further up the field there, Ron Wolf, and there is Eric Ronenberg getting past Ron. Hungry like a wolf, but that's not past because he's gone off the track.
Oh dearie me. Eric Cronenberg there just pushing way too hard in towards turn 4, and even Jade Reese is going to get ahead of him actually in what will be a battle for 5th place. What a mess that was.
Oh, so is this too.
Oh dear. What is going on today? It's only lap 2.
Yeah, they haven't had enough beers or some of that, mate. That's the problem. They're too nervous, and the nerves are kicking in, so let's relax a little bit more, boys. We've seen better driving towards the end of our B-League Racing series before, so that's because they start consuming a little bit more of the beverages, I'd say.
we've seen better driving at the end when people are starting to lose control from what we've seen in the opening couple of laps here. I mean, yeah, I've not seen anything like it in a race for quite some time, actually. For 17th place is a huge one, all the way back from Steve Bauer right down to pretty much last in the field. As you can see on the track map, it's pretty much 30 dots on top of one another at the moment. That's what we can gain from the track map at the moment. It's a very, very busy field.
Busy, like the cars in there. Here is the Wendy's machine there of Christopher. Side by side, a little bit up the road there from Cody Carter. That's your yellow machine on the inside line. We'll see if he's going to do a switcheroo, not through here, of course, to the S's. You can see that was Robert Baylock a little bit too wide in the green machine just behind them. Currently, as you can see the battle. This is the battle there for P25, P23. We'll try to get back and get some of those replays, what happened at the race start, but just in case, touch wood, something breaks, I don't want to spoil the live pictures that we have, but we can see this great battle brewing between Adam Joseph Maylott there and Giovanni.
Very wide, and I'm not sure how they've made that work, actually. Romano through the middle, and it was Catlin and Maylott who were side by side with him as well on either side. That could have been very bad, because you don't often see pretty wide work. That's it. We've seen a lot of battling so far, though.
You can in the beer league. You can see the 3 wide every once in a while. Here's your Burger King machine. Just James goes up. James gets ballistic in this league. He can't handle the food references from all this. Oh! As you can see, the battle brewing at the moment. Who's that? That's Ken Rhea, isn't it? And Joshua. Disappeared.
I'm not sure who made contact there, actually, but it was pretty hard contact, whoever it was there. Between a couple of the drivers, that was quite wide from somebody as well. As we go back up front, a little bit further up front anyway, to the top 5 at battle. In fact, in the top 6 we've got 3 pairs, one for the lead, one for 3rd place, one for 5th place, and this is the last of those between Jay De Vries and Eric Ronenberg in the Honda versus the Audi.
Yeah, true. That's the beauty of the B League. I don't think the machines really pay that much of a dividends, do they? Like, I think it's just what the drivers prefer. It's not that much of a ridiculous, competition level racing league where they tweak the cars so much that it really depends. Of course, the iRacing updates as well too. We've got a whole bunch of new cars and things like that to do it. But these guys are just whatever, I guess, tickles their fancy, isn't it? Their driving style.
Yeah, why not? I mean, there's not in terms of actual different cars, to be fair, it's not the biggest difference in driving style or preference between them, so it's not terrible in the TCRs anyway, but either way, yeah, it's just about picking what you like, and that's fine. You can't imagine these guys will have tested which one's fastest or whatever, as Josh Freed does indeed get through and back to the lead on Mike Young, who seemed quite nervous about actually fighting him there, which is somewhat bizarre.
I think he realises he's got a bit more time. We know Josh Freed's pace. He just annihilated everybody at the Heat 1.
Same can't be said of Mike Young in his heat. He didn't even win his. He was in the same heat indeed of Freed, actually, as Zach Garrett comes into pit lane for what I would say is an unscheduled pit stop, to be honest, because it's a bit early still.
Yeah, they're going to make a pit stop. But you don't have to make it that early because these cars can go all the way, as we're looking once again at our pink salmon vodka, isn't it? I believe here for the Pepto-Bismol machine, I like to call it, but that's Alex. Remember he was explaining that before in the past, what it tastes like? He said it's absolutely disgusting. I know you might not have been here that week. He was explaining it, but he says it's a salmon flavored vodka or something like that. It's absolutely disgusting. Said to taste, but it's a unique taste, and that's the reason why he's using the livery on the side of his machine, as Eric is trying to make his way back up through there after an off-track excursion that he had. And of course he's got the McDonald's machine just behind him, and obviously Jay De Vries maybe not behind him anymore, because I think he just got past side by side. Here we go. We'll change the camera picture so you can see all the action.
That was definitely contact between De Vries and Hannigan. Now Hannigan will go down the inside quite decisively and just about cuts in front of De Vries. Austin Tucker right there as well. That was quite close actually, because Hannigan very easily could have made contact with De Vries, but thankfully not. well, did make contact out of turn 10, but I mean, into 13, it was all fine. So yeah, that was all good. Nice racing, and now Austin Tucker will try and go down the inside as well. That was close.
Yeah. If you got that old pearl shape, that would have been a spitteroo there for the JD machine, but Austin Tucker's like, who needs Jack Daniels when you have a bit of Bailey's and a bit of Tucker. Tucker's trying to make those 4 places up, as you can see currently at the moment, dropped to 4. Looks like we do have Tyler into the pit road. What is the other action that's occurred? Well, you can see some of those switcheroos at the back there. You'd have to say Chris Dowden and Brooks Clayton are the ones that have come off the wrong end of the stick at the start of this race. And I have to say, speaking of which, there's Graham. Well, that's a hard impact into the fence as well.
Yeah.
Saw it bounce.
It will have been.
Let's see if our replay system's working. Well, hopefully it won't break itself, but here it is. Oh, that's a huge snap, wasn't it, of oversteering? Boom. Heavy impact.
It was. You don't often see that in a TCR, actually.
All right, that should be good, I think.
We've survived a replay.
We survived the replay. Okay, that's great. Then we can go back and have a look at some of the other ones in a bit.
It's good news, because otherwise there's so much going on that we can't all show you it in live pictures. Yeah, absolute nightmare.
Yeah, I was testing it early during the practice session, so it's quite weird. Make sure everything was all good, spick and span, but 30 minutes before the practice session, but 30 minutes in the practice session, so yeah, you know, things break when they break. Tucker's gone into the pit road. Here's Dylan in the other Burger King livery, so there's Austin. Electing to go in pretty early, maybe to get a gap in the field there, if you can find one to get some pace on there, as well as you can see Dustin. And just on the outside's Chris there. Oh, side by side through there. I want to see that. He's actually going to lose that place, isn't he, to Brooks, I think, if he doesn't get the power down early. And then Giovanni just lurking the background. So let's have a look at it from Giovanni's perspective, because we can see this little battle that's up the road there between Chris and Brooks.
Giovanni Romano just behind these three at the moment. He already made up 19 places today, starting in 33rd after not participating in the final lap of his heat, just to make sure that he can try and come through the field, which is what he always enjoys doing. It's got him to 5th in the driver's standings. It's got him 2 wins as well out of the 5 races so far, which is very, very impressive.
Let's see how that pans out. Let's scroll back a little bit to the start and see what some of the major action that did occur. I think it was Ken Ray that had a little bit of a moment at the start of the race. Let's have a look. This is probably just a bit of contact, I'd say, out of the formation cars. You know that happens. But let's have a look at Austin Tucker.
Now this is the incident into turn number 1.
Yes.
Tucker tries to go for second here.
There it
just,
is.
And
that comes back on the track.
Yellow car and brakes very severely.
And then
and gets himself turned.
Joshua Keefe a little bit further back now. Whether or not Joshua was having to take avoiding action. He gets slammed by one of the other drivers. I think it might have been Steven. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is Steven here. So look what happened to Steven. Does Steven get tapped here? Steven's this white, the green and white car there. He got contact here, and there was a concertina effect, wasn't it, under the braking in turn 1.
So 2 very similar incidents happening into turn 1, and then
Chris
complete chaos
as well too. This is what happened with Chris. Well, we did see this actually. So Chris was the passenger of that one.
It's wiped out.
Wiped out there. Turn 1. So back to the live pictures. Hopefully it'll work. Cross your fingers. Yes, it will. Great. Thank you. And there's Chris currently at the moment. So even after that incident, he's still making his way up into P9. Just imagine, he was, P2 into turn 1? So getting it done.
Big change for him. Austin Tucker was the one who got spun around straight away, of course. And speaking of Austin, apparently there's a clip of him doing a shoey of Bailey's last week.
Oh, really?
Austin Tucker.
Damn it. You should let me know. I would have probably put it up in a little box in the corner here for our live pictures.
Well, I didn't know. No, I didn't know until it just got put in the YouTube chat just now. So there we are.
Yeah, come on, guys. You got to send this to me a little bit earlier. I will show those little things, those little specials that we have here at the Beer League. And here we go. Concertina effect. What'd you get?
For 17th place.
Liger. Isn't that an old racing team in Formula 1?
It's not quite. It's not the same. I'm not sure what that means, actually. I'm always hesitant to say these things where I'm not sure what they mean. Because
Let me say it wrong. It's okay. You can hear that why people go, Biggles doesn't know what he's talking about anyway. No, it's all right. Sometimes I do.
oh dear me!
And you don't worry about the corner. You don't need it at the moment, Joshua. Just go straight through. You will have some off tracks.
The problem with the tarmac they put everywhere at this circuit is that you can go off the track a little bit more easily than I would suggest is probably right. Oh dear! And now he's been hit into the guardrail. He'll be falling way outside the top 20, and he's stuck in the guardrail as well.
Yeah, he is. He's trying to murder. He's trying to get. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Absolutely trying to get stuck. That's quite strange, isn't it? You don't get stuck too often, but he's gonna have to tow.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any way he can get out of that.
He's going to fall off. If he's tried going forwards and reversing, then he's going to have to
I've seen that a lot for the open wheelers, as you know, because they're so low to the ground, they get bogged down, especially even on a chicane. Sometimes they get stuck. But I haven't seen it too much into the fence like that. That's quite strange.
It is. Yeah, very weird.
And even with the instant repairs too. Sorry to cut you off. Got the instant repairs as well too. So, you know, maybe he had too much damage, but maybe that was trying to repair itself while it was stuck in the fence. Who knows? A lot of people are heading to pit road too at the moment, mate.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the no damage thing works on iRacing actually. Whether they kind of get it and it's immediately repaired, or whether they just never get it at all. I don't know what goes on with that at all, really. Oh no! Eric Ronenberg and Tom Badal make contact in towards turn 4 as well. This is a very, very difficult circuit to race cleanly with other people, clearly, because we've seen so many pieces of contact, even in the first quarter of an hour.
Yeah, I guess they're risking it for the biscuit a little bit more here in round 6. You can see that a drag away race here at the moment. Dylan's on the racing line, going to have the exit speed through here, but then it's going to allow back the inside line to Adam Klein. Clean, so let's see if he can keep it clean. There's our first punt. We're a little rusty on that one, haven't we, mate? We're 15 minutes into this and we haven't come up with all those drivers' puns yet.
To be fair, we're that's quite a long stretch, to be fair, to start calling Klein clean.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a stretch, but we can try. There's got to be puns to be had in this field. Austin Tucker outside line at the moment of Robert Baylock. This is in towards turn 10, and Tucker's finding this fairly difficult actually to overtake people.
Yellow flag.
It's more difficult now because the safety car's out.
Yep. I was wondering why my mouse was flashing yellow like mad here. Let's have a look at those pit stops then, because we do know that they will have to take them. And who's taken theirs or not? We've seen before in the past, haven't we, what happens when the drivers do gamble and not take that pit stop under the safety cars? Remember, you weren't here last week, but last week we did have a specific driver that did do that and lost all the way like 20 or so places late into the race. So I'd imagine right now that you think this is paid off for the likes of Eric here and Tucker. They've already taken their pit stops because now everybody else should, and I'd imagine should dive in to pit road because don't want to be losing later on into the race. And that, they're gambling on a second safety car. That's the thing too, mate.
You think so, but the iRacing safety car on road, when you just leave it to do what it wants, does strange things sometimes, and so those who pitted might not actually end up first and second and so on. Because you're right, Tucker's the first those to have made a stop to be out there, then Hannigan, then De Vries, Ronenberg, Barrett, Agostino, Dowden, Clark, Colton, etc. You can see them all down the bottom there. However, are they going to end up at the front here when this all shakes out? When these guys come in, sometimes they get put back at the front anyway, and iRacing behaves very weirdly when that all happens. So I'm not entirely sure. I don't have a lot of faith that they'll be at the front. And of course, you don't know who's going to stay out actually as well, but I can't imagine many will, since we do indeed have nearly 20 minutes complete. That's quite a long way for these very, very fuel limited cars.
Yeah, as the pictures are going behind those trees, get out, chop those trees. Get out there and chop those trees down there, Ewan. And get in the way of our cameras. Okay, so no chopping trees down. What's interesting at the fact that at the moment they have elected not to stop. And you see Mr. Josh Reed has caught the safety car.
Yeah, but the pits haven't opened yet, so that's why.
Oh, they haven't? I thought they just opened immediately. No?
No, because the leader's got to catch the safety car first, and Josh Freed had just made his way out of turn 2 when the safety car came out, so it's taken him ages to catch up, and now he's finally done it. This is going to seem like a long safety car, maybe, but it's no longer than it is usually, so people will be in this time.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think we can post the clip in the chat there at the moment, as I Ain't Toxic was saying in there. Maybe, I'm not quite sure we have the powers that be there to post that link to the shoey.
I'm not sure we're really allowed to show it either.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's it. If you want to watch it, guys, at the moment, go down and click the Discord link and join the Beer League, and then the guys will be happy to share that one. Well, how about that one? As we're still waiting at the moment, look at that. As you said, it's very, very long. But look at how much they're going to bunch up. Now you have from P1 to P15 bunched up, as you see in the track map. You can see by the time they get around this corner, you're going to have almost everybody else. You look at Mr. Tucker. He is essentially the net leader of this race because he's taken his pit stop, and Chris Hannigan. So that's going to pan out. And yes, they're going to have to go on the pit road, aren't they? There's going to be just too much time not to. Look at this. So
not
everybody.
Not everyone comes in.
No?
Romano and Lee have stayed out.
That's interesting.
Other than that, yeah, everybody's in. And this is going to be a very, very busy pit lane.
And it's just a short stop.
This is where our racing need to make sure that you can't just drive through everyone in the box, because it'd be a lot more interesting.
I agree.
Have to negotiate
I agree. Yeah, because it can slow you down by spotting your braking point, no doubt, in your pit stop. But that's very, very interesting. That maybe they're going to probably work on that. As you can see, just driving out like that means you're not going to get on the power, isn't it? Like, you get out around somebody.
I think the hardcore iRacers would start riots, so I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. Freed makes his way out the pit lane first. Zach Garrow's made quite a short stop, actually, and he's up there as well. Mike Young, 16th, but look how much time these guys have lost. And once again, it's an example of why Chris Hannigan comes in here every time and says, pitted early so that I didn't get caught up with the safety car. And once again, it's worked out for him.
What's interesting as well, too, is Alex is a second pit stop now. He took that pit stop very early with... He wasn't the one that got stuck down the fence, but we're not quite sure why he took that pit stop early. Maybe he wanted to jump to the fridge and grab something to drink. Who knows? But either way, looking at pretty solid in the 12th position. But yeah, you have to say, Austin and Chris are the ones looking at the net lead of this race. If you're Giovanni Romano and Jason Lee at the moment that haven't taken the pit stops, as you can see, in P1 and P2, they're going to be feeling the pressure, won't they, mate? And how long can they go before they're going to have to box?
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't done already, actually. But they're still out there.
If they do it now, they've essentially plumped... Oh, what are we? Look at the pack. So 28th is the snail, of the safety car snail. That's down it. So they'll be out behind P28 at least.
And there's 33 on the lead lap at the moment, so it could even be worse for them. But once again, I'm not sure how they're still out there in terms of fuel now, and they will be under safety car for another lap. Now, I can explain the first lap, obviously under safety car taking as long as it did. I can't explain why the safety car stayed out for another lap now. But anyway,
they're still bunching them up. Look at the track map.
Well,
still waiting.
It doesn't normally wait, to be fair. It doesn't normally wait for that. It just goes. But obviously not.
I've just seen the family planning livery there at the moment. Let's have a look.
So this is the lap where everybody gets too wide now, and we're going to have a rolling restart. And to be fair, I don't remember 2 wide restarts, actually, but clearly we are going to have one.
So obviously they're going to have to stay out. For how long will they be able to stay out? Will be interesting. My mouse at the moment will go green. That up the top left-hand side will go green. Keep an eye out for Chris and Austin. I think they're definitely looking good here. And Jay and Eric perhaps to win our feature race here and looking sharp to be able to do it. I'm not writing off the 2 leader race at the moment too, because a late safety car could come into their play later on into this. But then again, who knows? Because they definitely going to need some gasoline in those machines. As Ewan, mate, you're going to be driving that pace car for us this evening, aren't you, mate? So you could let us know when you're going to hit the gas pedal and get on with it.
Yeah, I'm surprised by Romano and Lee at the moment. I really am. They're nearly halfway into the race now, which means that they might be able to do this on one stop, which I don't believe we've ever seen before. Not in this, not since we've started doing it anyway.
Yeah, we'll
Have we ever
never
seen a
know.
one-stop race?
No, I don't think so. Did not at all. Maybe somebody in the chat can let us know about that one if I have missed it, but
I don't recall one. I don't recall one at all. So, the order's changed quite dramatically. Austin Tucker somehow is about where he was when he started this race, but everybody else is about more than 10 places up or down from where they started, which is really quite bizarre.
that means everybody will catch the pack. We're still waiting for the 33 machine to catch the pack, and should be easily by the time we get into the final sector and then get ready. So our safety car will peel on the pit road. There it is. So the snake is caught.
Oh, are
Its
those
head?
lights still flashing on top of the safety car? Because I can't quite see.
No, I don't think so, sir.
Hopefully the
They're
lights off. Yes. It was just the glistening in the sun. I thought I could still see lights, but no. It was 26 minutes to go and just over half the race. We're going to get back going again after nearly 10 minutes of safety car. Giovanni Romano gets us underway from the front despite not making a pit stop just yet. It was a real mess in towards turn 1 on the opening lap. Let's hope things are a little bit better this time around. Chris Hannigan gets very close to one of the drivers in front of him. That's Austin Tucker, I think, just up ahead. And it's way cleaner of a start this time. Too wide once again. It's almost like having a restart of the race, but it's a much cleaner one as well, which we're very glad to see.
I think I'm zooming by, and now, well, don't count your chickens until they're hatched yet, my friend. You never know, because it will start heating up to get temperature into their tyres.
It's already gone better than last time. Oh, it's not quite so great down the back anymore. Klein Dowden, a couple of the drivers involved. That's down at turn 4. Oh, and he's going to get hit a lot of times on the way past is Brooks Clayton, who's sat in the middle of the road.
Chris, wasn't it? This is actually Chris.
This is the very first start.
Oh,
of the
that
race.
was. Yeah, sorry. My apologies on that one. I haven't zoomed all the way back down the bottom. Now, who you said it was? It was Brooks. I think it was Brooks.
Clayton was involved. Dowden
that was
definitely involved
Brooks.
in a spin there as well.
Yeah.
But
I think there was
Clayton getting back going again.
there.
He gets hit by almost everyone on the way past.
You're right. Let's go back to the live pitch, of course, and see what's happening the rest of the race at the moment. And there is action. Because you've signed up to the beer league to watch it at least, and these drivers are signed up to race in the beer league, not the beer rig. If, halfway through the race, my friend, right now. What's happened up the road here? Tyler?
Nice. There's a nice dive from Tomadol there. It'll be inside of turn 1, side by side. The 10th place between Tyler Agostino and Castro as well. Agostino somewhat puzzlingly dropped to 4th on the last lap of Heat 2, but obviously we didn't see that a little bit earlier. He's up there now inside the top 10 in this race.
See how they handle it out. They have been handling it quite well. That's what I'm saying, my friend, as the booze starts to kick in a little bit, the nerves start to chill during our beer league. Mike and Zach have a little bit of exchange-a-roo. That's Mike Young and Zach Arrow. Further up at the moment. The heating zone, the hot zone. If Jason Lee trying to put a bit of pressure on Jay DeVries. And who's gone a little bit deep on there? That's Corey, I think it was, wasn't it? It's,
No, that
yeah,
was
Corey.
Jay DeVries.
Jay.
No, that was
Yeah.
Jay DeVries who went wide. Corey Barrett now side by side with Jason Lee for 4th place. Lee is going to come out top there. Alex Goffard going to come through as well, and someone's off in the grass. Oh no, big contact with Tyler Agostino and Justin Dos Pace into the final couple of corners. A big battle, heading into a big crash, and Jason Lee has gone, well, he's dropped down the order because he's gone to the
It's gone to the pit road, yeah. He's taken his pit stop that he had to. So it'll be interesting to see if Giovanni, leading this race at the moment, when is he going to look at doing? He's at the fastest lap, believe it, on the last lap. So he's definitely running on vapours. You usually do get a bit quicker if you don't have any gas in your car. But how long can he continue? He's got to be crossing his fingers right now, isn't it? Dotting his T's and crossing his T's and dotting his I's to hope for another safety car, or praying for a safety car.
Crossing eyes and
Dotting T's, yeah, something like
Who
that.
said that to me the other? Someone said that to me the other day. I thought it, as in on a broadcast, driver interview. I can't remember who it was, but anyway.
Are they stealing my lines? No, of course, I was the first person to come on that, Zach.
To be fair, they came up with, oh dear, oh, Zach Garrow, that wasn't the smartest thing to do, I'm afraid. What is he doing there?
Oh, at that point, sometimes, mate, they might sit there and just have a swig. Have a drink.
I guess so, but please don't do it when you're right in front of someone on the racing line there.
No.
Not a great idea, but anyway. Jed Vries and Eric Ronenberg battle side by side for 7th place. It's a good fight into turn 12, actually. Good respectful racing between the two. Ronenberg will stay in front as Giovanni Romano comes to the pit lane.
He had to, didn't he? Now, how much is he going to drop back? Because where did our other driver drop back to? I'm trying to look now.
Jason Lee's well outside the top 30.
Yeah, there you go.
But everyone else will probably have to make another stop themselves as well, so it's not a bad place for Romano to be in at all, I wouldn't say. The traffic that he'll end up in is probably going to be his only problem in this race. Where is he? Still in the box at the moment, and he's going to be quite a long way behind the traffic actually, so he should be all right in that respect. As Tyler Agostino going to have to recover from that spin in the final couple of corners last lap, but I think Romano's in a good, decent place to try and take a 3rd race win of the season.
Well, got to pull it from a very, very, like a 30th place, but as you said, if they do have another pit stop, they fueled it up to the end. I mean, if you did halfway through a race, okay, he's got to be able to fuel to go to the end, right? Because you use a little bit, I'd say you use a little bit, usually say you use a little bit less because the cars get lighter, but we don't know, we'll see. I don't know. I got a feeling chances of a second safety car here might be high, but it is a gamble, and there's the gamble of the drivers you're seeing making their way down the bottom of the hill. Climbing back up here. Rudskogen, if you pronounce that one correctly. Rudskogen. Norwegian isn't the best.
Yeah, not going to do it with a Norwegian accent, but yeah, that's...
Austin Tucker's gone in, but I just want to have a look at Carson. Yeah, I'd say he's gone too deep and just... Could be, yeah. Ooh, that's unusual.
Out of control.
Just a little bit heavy braking, I guess, into the corner. But yeah, so Austin's gone in as well as Jay.
Yeah.
So that confirms that they haven't got enough gas today. They'll go to the end.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't expect anyone to go to the end from here other than Romano. Might be the only one to be able to do this. And if he can, then I think he'll win the race. But it's going to be quite close for him. He must have been saving a lot of fuel in that first stint.
And will they get out side by side just ahead? And just ahead of Christopher in the Wendy's machine that goes into pit road. Further back of the live action, here it is between these two gladiator soldiers battling it out here. 3 abreast. They're going to have to back off now. Just do that.
Wow.
Ewan.
Alec Carlton makes 2 overtakes in 1 there with the outside line through 3 wide. That was very, very impressive indeed. He goes very wide. Castro, then Tomadol will close in again as a result, and they'll all look for the inside, the outside, and a dive in towards turn 10. Oh, that was close again. What a battle we're seeing for 5th place, though. So many cars involved.
It's actually fantastic racing, I'd have to say here. Remember, a very chilled B League. And most of the blokes are in the chat there. They might be muted and stuff like that, but they have a lot of fun. And there goes Chris Hennigan, so he's in a pit road right now as well. But yeah, he is. You can see the battles. So I was just going to say that looked like it was an overtake, but of course you go straight into pit road. That is. It's been really, really good. Very, very kind of on the edge competitiveness, you'd even have to say, isn't it? But we are getting deeper in the season, so remember the drivers are trying to represent their points, and they're also trying to represent their teams in the teams championships.
Yeah, certainly are. It could even be another 3-wide moment in towards turn 1 hit. Melot and Agostino already going side by side, and Klein trying to get involved as well. He will do as well. As Melot goes wide through turn 1, they'll battle side by side through 2 as well, but it's going to be Melot who stays in front of Adam Klein on the run down towards the very fast right-hander of turn 3.
Is that a Plan B burger? No, isn't that one? No, that's Tyler at the Plan B burger. Jeez, I'm making me hungry. I'll be in the city next week, so I'll be able to eat all that junk food that's possibly available to me. I can't wait, actually. Living out in the jungle, mate. Nothing like that. definitely going to be eating some of the burgers, my neck of the woods next week. So, or the next beer league race.
Third place will continue between Colton and Madol. Colton only just staying in front, but
Buffalo
did a fantastic 3-wide overtake to get into this position.
Oh,
He'll go into the pit lane now, though.
I think he just... Oh, you got the pit road, didn't he? Yeah, I was going to say, you got to jinx it, my friend. None of that, Ewan. No jinxing it. So, I'll show you at the moment there those pit stops as well, too, so everybody gets an indication of the 2. So we are expecting a 2 to go to the end on this one, for sure. So, Alex, remember, he made that second pit stop, but he did it... It was his first pit stop was very early. So, would he have enough gas?
I'm very convinced he wouldn't have. I've no idea when Goffard made 2 stops. I don't remember that at all, actually.
He's just passing
So
a lap car too at the moment.
Yeah, it's a short circuit. Pit stops have ensued, and now there's cars everywhere on that track map. You can see there.
Yeah, look for a dot. And can I find which dot? That's the positions, of course, and the dots that they're representing. But this is a battle for position. So, Mr. Ken Ree, and I have to say, you got to give it to Ken Ree. He don't had a very lucky day, but Ken Ray, actually not Ray. So apologies, Ken. But he's up. What is it? 22 positions currently at the moment. Battling his way through. Does need to take another pit stop. Wants to try to get past old Ron, the Snickers machine, so that he can gain a little bit more distance before he has to take a pit stop. Now, of course, if they were gambling on another safety car, wouldn't they? To really help them out right now. Shake Shack machine and the Hungary Snickers mobile.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm not convinced that...
Alex goes in. Alex went in. So, yeah, that answers that question,
yes,
as well as
the
Eric.
leads are in. I'm not convinced that a safety car would help those leaders at the moment, actually, because so many people are pitted now. They would be the only ones to pit, and they'd find themselves quite far down the order. But then again, they wouldn't have the catching up to do, I suppose, which is a good thing. Tom Adole will take the lead then, ahead of Wolf, then Jordan, Bradley and Beckman for the Mywin. There's Clayton going over the line, and the first of those to have made 2 stops is Tucker, I believe. Can't see Giovanni Romano anywhere.
Yep, he's here.
Which is a weird one.
Here he is. Giovanni knows where he is currently at the moment.
Of course.
Yeah.
I was looking for someone who's made 2 stops, but of course he has not done that.
Yes, right, he hasn't, because we believe he could possibly go to the end, because remember, he did it on the halfway marker in the race. He was the only one, as well as Lee, right? Jason Lee. Yep. But Jason Lee's down in 23rd position, so what happened with those 2 drivers? Staying out that little bit longer made a huge difference there for Giovanni.
Yeah, it's made a huge difference for him. He's got 3 seconds over Coffard, and as I said earlier, I think he can take this one right to the end now. Final 15 minutes of the race. Whatever happens here, even if this stays as it is, then he'll be fine, because he's in the lead right now, as we can see. If not, then that's fine. Well, oh my word, that's close with Berlock. He'll go down the inside.
I think Berlock's realising, hey, I don't want to let him go win this race. He's just heard you maybe perhaps say Ewan say, but he does let her through. It's a little bit argy-bargy, but that's the fun motor racing we have. But no deliberate argy-barginess that you see. Sometimes you see a late dive bomb. That's just the driver gets to hit the brake pedal. Stop pedal. As the rest of the drivers starting to make their way in the pit roads, which will just basically put a smile on the face one of the likes of Giovanni, as you said, because he's got enough gas to go to the end, we believe.
We believe so, and he will hope so. For the course of the final 13 minutes here.
Chris is battling it out here side by side.
Oh!
You know these two, mate. Austin Tucker and Chris have been on this all season long.
They have. Hannigan is points leader, of course. Took a 3rd place at 20 points back. They've both won a race, and of course, are not separated by much. But Hannigan's very much taking control of this championship now, and not sure how many rounds there are to go actually, but he's just holding on as things stand. And it's less about the championship really, it's more about the fun in the individual races. At the moment, it's been a good one, even at Rudskogen, which I've said before I don't really like. mainly because it doesn't provide any racing, but this race has been doing so
You
so far.
British. You don't like any track outside of the United Kingdom. You're the same.
That's absolutely
It's the same
not
with
true.
Zach and Pope and James. I know.
Some
maybe
of the British circuits are really bad, by the way. I'm not willing to I'm not patriotic with circuits at all, but because some of the ones are playing bad in the UK. We've got some good ones as well. There's no doubt about that. But this is not one of my favourites at all. But there we are.
I think for racing driving for these drivers today, it's been quite good. Yeah. But,
Today, it's a good example for me of the fact that these guys can literally race on any circuit there is, because we've commentated on plenty of series here on JPB at this circuit, and the two events I've done around here have been fairly lacklustre, but this one certainly hasn't been. This one has had more action in that first lap than in those two previous broadcasts I did in the months prior.
Oh, that's a good sign then. It
It
goes
is.
to show you, doesn't it? And you got to remember too, those other racing broadcasts you do are a lot more serious than the fun that we're having here at the Beer League. Even though we're not taking away the fact that there is some great serious racing going on at the moment, as you can see on the pictures. But yeah, a little bit more serious racing league, that's to say, for some of the other ones. These guys definitely having a lot of shicks and giggles, as you would like to say. As you can see, Chris gets his way past Robert. We'll still continue with this nice battle that's brewing down the road here.
Castro wide there, and Chris Dowden will be through, still trying to recover from that early incident, in fact, where he was wiped out at turn 1. Still only 16th though, which is pretty low where you'd expect to see him. I think he might crawl into the top 10 by the end of the race, but other than that, it's going to be a disappointment to him just to have started, I believe, in second place, and be fighting all the way down here. He'll be down the inside of Ken Ray now. And, well, he will armed his way through. Well, that was quite rude. And he will let Ray back in front again, but that was contact down towards turn 10.
You have to see who there's that picture on top of that car too, right next to him. There's battling with that's Jason Lee's machine, isn't it? There's Jason.
It is. I'm not sure how he's found himself
Can't
so
quite
far behind
see.
Romano, actually.
Let's have a look at the chopper. We can't really see it from the chopper camera angle, but Taylor's had a little bit of a moment, and I think there was also Bradley going to pit road, but what's happened to Taylor Klein? That's just a little bit too wide, and boom, on goes.
For whatever
Oh, that's a
reason-
pit road entrance, of course, so yeah.
For whatever reason, when you go onto pit lane here, RSN counts it as an off track,
Does, yeah.
or at least our system does. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but every time
It's a sensitivity
One
thing
goes
you can
to the
actually, believe it or
Yeah.
not, really fine-tune. But at the battle at the moment, here's Giovanni and Brooks. Giovanni makes his way back up through, and this is your pick, of course, the 99 machine there of Giovanni Romano to take the race win victory, you seem to think. In a good position. We know that the fuel should be able to go to the end. Even though it says the one-stopper, if you just tune in here to the B League, you think, well, the one-stoppers are going to have to stop again. We believe he doesn't.
Yeah, the first time ever we've seen someone try a one-stop and actually execute it as well, because as far as we're aware anyway, we've only seen two-stop races. Graham Jordan comes into the pit lane, so Giovanni Romano will be up to second now, although Alec Cofford is catching him for that position. Could be quite a close race between them in the final 9 minutes.
Absolutely. So we'll just hide off those pit roads, pit stops times at the moment. I don't want to cover too much of the live racing action with data. Although we do love the data. I believe everybody out there watching likes the data. So we can follow the action, especially your drivers. With 36 or so drivers, I believe, on the grid currently at the moment, my friend. I've scrolled down to have a look at that one. 36, yeah, I was correct on that. A couple more drivers coming out of pit road. Graham,
Yeah,
Brooks.
Baylock on the way out. Graham Jordan as well, who pitted from second place in the field. He'll come out just inside the top 20. And there is Baylock. And that green and black car. Speaking of which, Cameron and Chris Dowden side by side towards turn 3 here. It's Dowden on the inside. And oh dear, how many times have we seen that today? Cameron goes out wide a little bit and recovers because there's tarmac out there, but loses a place.
And then like a bit of tarmac out in the runoff area. We did see some people slam into the fence. I think it was at that corner. But they did, and you can see the little train that's occurring at the moment. That will be the Mr. Ken Ray train. 14 positions gained for that driver. Tyler Augustino. That's why I rely on you want to get those names correctly. He's English. They know how to pronounce English properly. I don't. Oh, read names properly.
Oh, that's contact as well. Oh dear, Ray and Lee. As Jason Lee tried to go down the inside there, Ken Ray was hit and went out for a little bit of a moment. It's always a late one that you have to execute down here into turn 12. Lee comes from a long way back and he goes straight into the side of Ray there, but ends up losing out more himself there. Just Lee. That was awkward.
There's other drivers coming around the corner. Thankfully, a slow corner that they were coming around, not a high-speed corner. Those would have seen cars flipped again. A couple of cars flipped in this series up on their bonnet in the past. Go up to Mr. Mike Young at the moment. He's bringing it to Jay. Camouflaged machine there for the 25, Mike Young.
Yes, the battle for the highest position, actually, in the order. It does look like we're only going to get one safety car today, unless we get the disappointment of ending the race under safety car, which I think happened at Sonoma, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yep, and it's been changed, I believe, since then, so can't happen anymore.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that's good news, but it does seem to mean that we're not going to get another safety car today, because I think if one was to come out, then we would end the race under it, which would be not ideal. 4 laps to go, I believe, unless Ron Wolf is trying to stretch this fuel out to the very end. I'd be surprised, but stranger things have happened.
You did. Sorry, I pressed the mute button. Good thing about hearing yourself in your headphones every once in a while is if you do accidentally mute yourself, you know that you're not speaking to anybody. But what do you reckon? Wolf could Wolf hold off Mr. Romano?
I'm beginning to wonder myself. I'm beginning to wonder whether he can or not. He's started down in 12th place today, which is significantly higher than Romano and Coffard, who both come from 33rd and 34th.
But he's won for you there.
Together.
He boxed on lap 12, whereas Giovanni boxed on lap 17. I don't think he's got the gas.
No, you wouldn't expect so. Surely Wolf is going to have to come in soon. It does confirm to us, though, that Romano can make it, because there's certainly less than 5 minutes left in this race now, and Wolf does indeed come into the pit lane.
Yeah,
so
there it is.
He made us wonder for a moment, but he will come into pit lane now, and we will get Giovanni Romano in the lead, seeing if he can hold off from Alex Coffard.
That will be very, very interesting as Ron Wolf goes into pit road as well. So that'll be your battle, of course. As you said, Alex and Austin Tucker's in P3. Chris is now in P4. We're looking at a little bit of a close battle that was occurring here between Chris, but he's had to back off a little bit. Mike Young is still tucked up right behind Jay DeVries, trying to do something about that driver. As you can see, he's squirrely-whirly puzzle patterns, you'd have to say, in an 25 machine car at the moment. Oh, yeah, that's getting very, very close. He's letting him know he's there, mate. He's like, here you go, I'm here. Come on, let's race.
Oh yeah,
Quicker.
But is it the best idea? Is the question. I'm not totally convinced, but he's giving it a go anyway. Top 7 have all gained places, and quite substantially so in some cases as well, in this race with 3.5 minutes to go. Might well be 3 laps to go at the line though, because it's a very quick pace at the front of the field. Romano is doing 1:29.0, 1:29.1 kind of region, which is they're going to give us maybe 3 laps to go at the line as Dowden looks at the back of Barrett and Castro. I said he might be able to get into the top 10. Well, this is his chance with the 2 in front.
You have predicted things quite well. There's your last lap times that are showing at the moment. I won't show the position gainers and losers because you very well know at the moment the top 2 have gained 32 positions each. You have to say fantastic, isn't it, for a race around this track? And look how close at the moment Jeremy is in the Reese's machine. Just there, but he had to back off a little bit, hasn't he, from Corey Barrett. That's up the road. He's more, I'd say, under pressure there from Chris at this point than anything. Ewan, has he got a possibility? Of course you have a chance. If gap car, right?
Yeah, he has the fantastic chance now, does Dowden. Well, he doesn't break as late as I thought. Castro's going to put up a good fight on the outside, and they'll stay side by side, but Dowden has a long way around the outside at turn 2. I won't be able to do it. He'll go for the cutback instead, though. And he will get alongside now as well, which is fantastic news for him. And through the very, very high speed turn 3, there should be the position here. Yeah, that'll be all nicely complete.
Ooh.
Oh dear! One of the lap cars off at the
It looks like Adam Joseph. Unfortunately, lucky he was a little bit up the road there. I have to give it to this one further back. Have a look at this. Joshua. The man that started on P1 in this race, he's running all the way back down to P24.
It just shows you how these races can change quite substantially over the course of even 50 minutes.
But here comes Chris.
Goes on to the penultimate lap, by the way, as Chris Hannigan tries to make a move on Austin. Took off a third.
He runs over the DRS sign. Almost. Actually avoided it.
Down towards turn 1. Yeah, Hannigan applying a lot of pressure to Tucker, who needs to either drink a few more drinks in the final minute or indeed stay in front of Hannigan.
Well, that's Tucker that did the Bailey's shoey shots, wasn't it? That's apparently
I'm
the
not
video.
sure that counts after the race, does it?
Not quite sure. But obviously, when I see that one, please join the Beer League Discord there and have a yarn to the guys and say, I want to see this Bailey's shoey. Get the replay for that one. We'll see if whether or not Chris is going to deny Mr. Tucker a podium position here at the moment. Chris, as you said, the championship leader in that McDonald's number 4 car. I don't know if Alex is going to be able to do anything, Alex Crawford in P2 there, about our race leader, especially if this much time left in the race, mate.
Yeah, the gap has slowly come down between Crawford and Romano, but I don't think it's coming down quite quickly enough. Romano is coming into the final couple of corners now with only a few seconds remaining. I think there will be one more here, but it's going to be quite close between ending right now and not doing so. And the Irish checker flag waiver just does what he likes sometimes, so we'll just keep an eye on him. And with 1 second remaining, he'll wave the white flag. See, he does what he wants.
Barney!
50% of the time, he would wave the checker flag there, and the other 50%, he'll wave the white flag. So you know, he's not controlled by anyone. Just does what he wants.
It's Barney. You know it's Barney, right? Barry is the pace car driver. Barney is the flag waver.
Doesn't mean he can do what he wants, though.
Well, if he's race control, he can.
He's supposed to be told what to do by race control. But anyway, he doesn't seem to listen sometimes. But anyway, we're on the final lap now for certain, and it's been a fantastic drive from Giovanni Romano, who's going to become the first driver to do well, having made only 1 stop.
Yeah, good timing. Absolutely brilliant timing. The battle at the moment for P6 is brewing up here. That's going to be a late dive, a late send. Can he make it stick? That's going to be the key. Blip camera might show us a little bit better angles than this. Got to remember this Todd Madoyle there, Mike Young. And Jay just up the road there. So Mike Young, maybe the last chance that Mike gets an opportunity, but we will have to switch it back over to Giovanni because he is approaching the final couple of corners at the moment, and we'll be about to cross the line there and definitely see this man, Mr. Barney, for the first time, the last time this evening. And there it is.
Absolutely. It's Giovanni Romano who takes his 3rd win of the season out of 6 rounds, ahead of Alex Crawford. The one-stop strategy working out for the very first time this season. Austin Tucker beats Chris Hannigan to the line just about to reduce championship lead, and then Eric Ronenberg will lose a couple of points. Jay De Vries, Todd Madoyle and Mike Young have really had a battle in the final couple of corners, but they will come over the line in that order ahead of Wolf and Dowden inside the top 10.
We'll slow down across the line. This battle, ooh, there it is, 1/10 of a second, and this way to slide across the line, of course. That it looked like from Costino.
Was yeah, I'm not sure who slammed into the wall there, but anyway, everyone else over the line in quite an orderly fashion, as the top 26 will indeed be on the lead lap, by the way.
Yeah, it's just switched back at the moment there to Giovanni. who has won the race. I have to say in style too. 32 positions gained. It's not too bad, I would say, any day of the week.
Yeah,
of a motor race.
About half of those were gained on lap 1 as well, where he was fantastic at picking his way through the trouble, and then played it well on strategy, and he's got his rewards for it as well. So, yeah, a very, very good drive from him indeed.
Eric's just reversing back up here for a second. We're still waiting for some more drivers. It's Zachary and Joshua. Yeah, a little sad day, you'd have to say, for Josh Freed, of course, who started on that pole position there, ended up finishing in the P25. We'll get those feature results actually for you practically coming up, my friend, in just a second for us to go over before we get some driver interviews underway.
Yeah, let's have a look at the results. It was Romano who will finish ahead of Tucker and Hannigan on the podium in the end, because we've got a big penalty for Alex Cufford in second place. He's not even inside the top 17. Eric Ronenberg and Jed Vries will be inside the top 5. De Vries finishing just ahead of Todd Badal and Mike Young. Then it was Ron Wolf, Chris Jadden and Jeremy Castro inside the top 10. Corey Barrett just missed out with Charlo Agostino, who was quite close as well. Justin does face 13th ahead of Steve Power and Ken Bray, as Adam Klein and Graham Jordan came over the line quite close together as well. That's somebody driving the wrong way up the pit straight there, actually. After the race.
Yeah, we're allowed to do that.
Just doing what they want.
Yeah. And
so where Alex Coffard has ended up actually in this one, because he definitely did come across the line in second place.
he did actually. We'll have to see about that exactly. So we got obviously Graham Jordan. What else we got there behind Graham?
Brooks Clayton, Christopher Flick and Jason Lee within a minute. Then Robert Baylock just outside of that. Tyler Cartwin 22nd ahead of Joshua Keefe, Josh Freed, who started on pole, and Zach Garrow, who were all on the lead lap. Then Alex Coffard, who has lost a lap and finished 26th, ahead of Sean Bradley. Then Greg Beckman and Carson Catlin, who were also on one lap down. Dylan Verlinger, Adam Milot and Tanner Klein, all 2 laps down. Then Cody Carter, Josh Kuhn and Jason Murray, all not making it to the finish. Let's have a quick chat to Giovanni Romano then, shall we, since he won that race. Giovanni, welcome along. Good to have you here. One-stop race and a race win for you as well. At what point, though, did you quite realise that a one-stop was actually possible in this league, at this track?
I don't know. Honestly, it was more of a, hey, let's try and do a one-stop, see what happens. And it worked out. Rudskogen is pretty good on fuel, and you can save a lot of fuel here without losing much time. So figured I'd try it, and kind of just got lucky. Really, I had like 0.2 of a gallon left, so one more lap and I would have run out. So it kind of just worked out.
It certainly did work out for you. In terms of the opening lap there, it was one of the most chaotic things I've seen at the Beer League for all season long, certainly lap 1. What was it like from your perspective, since you start down the back and obviously you see everything unfold in front of you?
So I think in a way I was lucky there as well, because the field wasn't quite bunched up by the time we took the green, since you take the green here so quickly from the pacing is really short. So I was fairly far back, which meant I could see all of the absolute chaos happening unfold in front of me and gave me time to react to it. So I think I had it easier than some of the people that were, like, say, in the mid pack, who were right in the eye of the storm and had to get through it.
Absolutely. Congratulations to you, though, for the race win, your 3rd of the season, and thanks for chatting to us as well.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks very much. Giovanni Romano winning the race there ahead of Austin Tucker, who will also join us now as well. Austin, welcome along. 10 seconds away from Romano at the end. Were you aware, though, that you were going to jump up to second at the end of the race there? Because I certainly didn't really realise.
Second? I think I was 3rd, right?
Yeah, but on our results, you're second all of a sudden, because Alex Coffard has, for some reason, lost an entire lap. I'm not sure why.
I think he went backwards at the end. Got DQ'd.
Oh, after the race?
Yeah, after the
okay.
After we all ran into the wall in turn 3, I think he got DQ'd.
So we're guessing that that's not going to matter in the end, and he's going to finish in second anyway.
We'll see. I
Well,
don't think
yeah,
he's
he'll
had
be in the
this happen
wedding interview, so we'll probably get a chat to him about that. But your drive, you'd have to say Austin Tucker, you're still getting that one position because you could put that car into P2 at the moment. I believe we're looking at a lot of incidents that occurred at the start of that race too. How was it for you, my friend, there for the High Spirits racing team?
Good. Aside from my turn 1 incident, which was complete, I mean, it was a good night. Recovered from that solidly and got the pitch strategy good again. Just held off. Somehow managed to hold off Chris. We were having a bunch of course cut penalties between the two of us back and forth at the end of the race, but I kept in front of him. Other than that, I don't know, not much to say. It was just kept it clean, except for the first couple laps, and held on.
Absolutely. Congratulations on a podium, Austin, and thanks for chatting to us as well.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Austin Tucker there, who will be third, but we're suspecting. We'll chat to Alex Coffard, though, about it. Alex, welcome along. How come you've been disqualified from our results sheet?
I just was informed of that. I have no idea.
We thought you'd just not served a penalty or something. We didn't know what was going on there, but apparently you were driving the wrong way, and so it's disqualified you after the race, which we're not quite sure how that's going to be dealt with, to be honest.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Yeah, I honestly had no idea, and then PBG just hopped in the room and was like, I think I got third, and so we thought Austin got DQ'd or something, but I guess it was me.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen after the race either. But about the race itself, you obviously start down the back as often happens, and you've picked your way up towards the front again as well. Well, just tell us what it was like coming through the field on this occasion.
Yeah, well, I accidentally started from pit lane. That was not intentional. That was me taking too long to go get a beer. And then I kind of missed the first part of the carnage, which was good. But at the same time, it's a tight track and it's a difficult track. So just kind of driving within my own means and letting people make mistakes was most of it. And then as I got to the front, the battles got a little bit better. So it's always challenging racing with these guys.
It certainly is. Alex, thanks for joining us here this evening. Congratulations on a nice drive, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
All right, thanks very much, Alex Coffard there, who we think will be on the podium. Certainly deserves to be there after the race. So congratulations to him once again. That's just about going to do it, though, for the beer league here for round 6. The Rudskogen Motorsenter has provided fantastic racing in these TCRs. Actually, one of the most chaotic lap ones we've seen all season. And a nice race after that as well. That only had one of the promised safety cars here today as well. That's it for us here at the JPB channel for now. Then make sure you subscribe and check out all the other racing that's going on here this week and in future as well. But for now, we will sign off. I've been Ewan O'Leary alongside Dean Biggles here this evening. And until we see you again next week for round 7 of the Beer League, it's goodbye for now.